Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English is My Life. If this is your first time here, thank you for joining us. And if you've been with us for a while, well, you already know this is the place where English becomes simple, friendly, and sometimes even a little too fun. I'm Haley, your host, and I'm sitting here with my partner in chat, the one and only Sam.
Partner in chat. I love that. It makes me sound important. Hi, everyone. Hello, listeners, and thanks for being here with us. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do it right now. It takes 1 second, totally free, and it helps us continue creating episodes that make learning easier.
Today, we're talking about something everyone has, something everyone does, and something that is sometimes boring, sometimes chaotic, and sometimes surprisingly funny. We're talking about daily routine. Yes, the everyday life stuff, the things we do again and again and again until we question our existence.
Wow, that escalated quickly. But she's right. Daily routines can feel repetitive, but they're also such a great way to learn English because they're full of simple, useful words you can use every day.
And not just useful, sometimes ridiculous. For example, my morning routine includes staring at the ceiling for 5 minutes, wondering why my alarm hates me.
Only 5 minutes? I take at least 10. And sometimes I negotiate with the alarm like it can hear me. I'm like, please, just 5 more minutes. I promise I'll wake up. And then suddenly it's 40 minutes later.
Classic. And I'm sure many listeners can relate, so let's get into it. Sam, let's start simple. Walk me through your morning routine. What happens the moment you wake up?
All right. So the moment I wake up, I usually check my phone. Not because I want to, but because my brain automatically does it. My hand just grabs the phone like it has its own life. And I know it's a bad habit, but it happens every single day.
Same. I always say, today I will not touch my phone first thing in the morning, and then 5 seconds later, I'm checking messages I don't even care about.
Exactly. After that, I sit up in bed and try to convince myself that this is real life and not a dream. Then I get out of bed and stretch. I actually like stretching in the morning. It wakes me up and makes me feel like a responsible adult.
I love how you say makes me feel like a responsible adult, as if it's just an illusion you maintain.
It is an illusion, a gentle, beautiful illusion. After stretching, I head to the kitchen to make breakfast. Usually a simple one: eggs, toast, maybe fruit, and of course, coffee. Coffee is the main character of my morning.
Same here. If coffee didn't exist, I would probably still be sleeping right now. My routine is similar, except I walk around my apartment like a confused penguin until the caffeine starts working.
That is a beautiful image. A confused penguin drinking coffee. I want that on a t-shirt.
I'd buy it. Anyway, after breakfast, I take a quick shower, get dressed, and then start planning my day. I'm one of those people who likes writing a to-do list. It makes me feel organized, even if I only do two things on the list.
Hey, two things are better than zero. My morning routine also includes writing a list, except mine is messy. I write things like eat lunch and drink water, just so I can check them off later and feel proud.
That is totally valid. List checking dopamine is real. But tell me, is there anything in your morning routine that you wish you could stop doing?
Oh, absolutely. I wish I could stop hitting the snooze button. Every morning, I promise myself I'll get up right away, and every morning, I prove myself wrong. What about you?
I wish I could stop rushing. I always think I have more time than I actually do. So I move slowly for 15 minutes, and then suddenly I'm flying around like I'm in an action movie.
I can picture that. Haley running through the house, grabbing keys, putting on shoes while brushing her hair. Pure chaos.
Exactly. And I always tell myself, tomorrow I will do better. Spoiler, tomorrow is usually the same.
I think that's the true universal daily routine, promising to be better tomorrow.
Absolutely. And speaking of listeners, I want to remind everyone, feel free to practice with us. Repeat the simple sentences, notice the everyday vocabulary. The more you hear it, the faster you learn. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
All right, Haley. Now that we've covered mornings, let's move to the next part of the day. What happens after your morning chaos ends?
Well, after the morning madness, my day starts to settle. I usually sit down at my desk, check emails, reply to messages, and plan my schedule.
Let me guess. While you're still drinking coffee?
Always, coffee is the background music of my day.
I like that. My day starts in a similar way. After breakfast and shower, I get into work mode and start tackling responsibilities. But I'll get into more detail in a moment.
Perfect. So, let's move into the next part of our daily routine journey.
So yeah, after the morning warm-up, the real day begins. And honestly, Haley, my daytime routine depends on whether I'm working from home or going out. But either way, it always starts with opening my laptop and staring at it for a moment like, okay, let's do this.
Oh, I feel that. There's always that moment when you sit down, open your laptop, and your brain says, nope, not today, even though your responsibilities are like, yes, today, right now, immediately.
Exactly. And I usually start by checking emails. Some emails are fine, but some, oh boy, some are so long I need a snack before reading them.
That's how you know adulthood has hit you. You need food just to read an email.
It's true. After emails, I begin working on whatever I need to get done that day. Writing, planning projects, answering messages, editing audio clips, stuff like that. Sometimes it's productive. Sometimes I get distracted.
Let me guess, you get distracted by food?
Not always. Sometimes it's videos, sometimes music. Sometimes I randomly decide to clean the entire house at 11 a.m. because suddenly I can't work in a messy place.
That's classic productive procrastination. I do that too. When I don't want to work, suddenly everything else becomes urgent. Like I must organize my bookshelf alphabetically before answering this message.
Exactly. And after that, I usually force myself to focus. Once I actually get started, it's fine. What about you? What does your midday look like?
Mine is a mix of structured and chaotic. I usually start with planning content, doing research for episodes, checking our podcast notes, brainstorming ideas. But then I also spend time recording, practicing lines, and reviewing topics.
You forgot the most important part.
What?
Snacks. I know you, Haley. I know there are snacks in your routine.
Okay, yes, snacks are included. Usually something quick like fruit or granola bar. Sometimes chocolate because, life.
Chocolate is always a good decision. Always.
And after that, I usually spend some time answering listener questions. I love reading comments from people telling us how these episodes help them. It motivates me like nothing else.
Same here. It's always heartwarming. And speaking of listeners, if you're listening right now, feel free to tell us in the comments about your daily routine. Practicing writing is as good as practicing speaking.
Yes, and keep using the vocabulary you hear. The more you use it, the easier it stays in your memory.
All right, Haley, so let's talk lunch. What's your lunchtime routine?
Lunch for me is simple. I like light meals, salads, sandwiches, rice bowls. I don't like heavy lunches because if I eat too much, I get sleepy.
I wish I had that discipline. My lunches are usually too big, and after eating, my brain goes into I need a nap mode for at least 20 minutes.
Same. But I fight it. I try to walk around a little or drink tea, but sometimes the food wins.
Food usually wins. Anyway, after lunch, my routine often includes taking a short walk outside. It really helps reset my brain.
Oh, I love that. Fresh air is magic. And I feel like in the middle of the day, stepping outside helps you feel like a real human again, not just a tired potato sitting at a desk.
A tired potato. I love that. That should be the title of my autobiography.
The Life of a Tired Potato, the Sam Story.
Bestseller for sure.
Jokes aside, walking helps with creativity too. I come back with better focus. And if I have recording sessions, editing, or meetings, that's usually when I do them, early afternoon.
I'm the same. Afternoon is my productive window. If I'm going to get things done, it usually happens between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. After that, well, things get interesting.
Interesting as in you stop functioning?
Pretty much. My energy starts dropping and I need either tea or music to stay alive. What about you?
Around late afternoon, I like to make another to-do list to see what's left to finish. Sometimes I'm surprised, like, wow, I did a lot today. Other times it's, wow, I did nothing.
Both are acceptable. That's life.
Exactly. And I want listeners to know that it's okay if your routine isn't perfect. It doesn't have to be exciting or super productive every day. Real life is messy, and that's normal.
Yes, and don't compare your routine to others. Everyone has their own rhythm.
Speaking of rhythm, Sam, do you have any interesting habits in the afternoon, like something unusual?
Well, I talk to myself.
What?
Yep, I talk to myself when I'm trying to solve a problem. I pace around the room and say things like, "Okay, Sam, what's the plan?" I look like a detective in a crime show.
I'm laughing because I do the same thing. I walk around saying things like, Haley, get your life together.
It works, though.
True. Talking to yourself is underrated.
After that, I usually try to finish the last bit of work before transitioning into evening mode. That's when things get slower, calmer, more relaxed.
Ah, yes, the evening routine. Probably the most comforting part of the day.
Absolutely. And I'll get to that soon. But before we move on, I just want to say something to our listeners. Your daily routine is not just something you do, it's something that shapes your life. Even small habits matter.
Yes, and learning how to describe your routine in English is a wonderful skill. You can use it in conversations, interviews, writing, anywhere.
All right, Haley, ready to move into the evening part of our daily routines?
I am. Let's dive right into it.
So after the afternoon wraps up and my brain starts slowly shutting down like a computer with low battery, that's when I know it's time to shift into my evening mode. You know, slower, softer, calmer. I think evenings have their own personality.
I agree. Evenings feel like the world finally takes a deep breath. Everything gets quieter, gentler, and for me, that's when I start doing things that help me relax and reset after a long day. But before I talk about mine, tell me, what's the first thing you do when evening arrives?
Change clothes. Immediately. I cannot stay in work clothes after work hours. I need comfortable clothes, soft clothes, relaxing clothes, the kind that makes you say, the moment you put them on.
Yes, that moment is essential to the human experience.
It really is. And after changing, I usually take a short break. Not a nap, just a pause. I sit quietly, stretch a little, maybe scroll through my phone. Sometimes I put on music that matches my mood. Slow music if I'm tired, upbeat music if I want to feel alive again.
Do you ever dance in your room?
I plead the fifth.
That means yes.
Fine. Yes, sometimes I dance. Sometimes you just need to do a 2-minute dance to feel human again.
Absolutely. I think everyone listening should try it at least once. 2 minutes of dancing can fix 80% of your problems. Not scientifically proven, but emotionally true.
Very true. And after that little reset, I start thinking about dinner. My dinner routine depends on my energy level. If I'm tired, I keep it simple. If I'm inspired, I cook something fun.
What's something fun?
Stir fry, curry, noodles with too many ingredients, things that make the kitchen look like a small disaster by the time I'm done.
Cooking is always like that. The food looks amazing, but the kitchen looks like someone fought a dragon in there.
That's accurate. What about your dinner routine?
Mine is calm. I like cooking simple dishes, pasta, soup, vegetables, and I enjoy the atmosphere more than the food sometimes. I turn on soft lights, maybe an instrumental playlist. It feels peaceful.
Very cozy. I think evenings are a great time for building small rituals that help us end the day on a good note.
Definitely. And after I eat, I like to clean the kitchen immediately. If I don't, it bothers me the next morning.
Same here. Waking up to a messy kitchen is like waking up to a bad surprise.
So true. After cleaning, I usually take a little time to unwind. Sometimes I watch a show, sometimes videos, sometimes I read. It depends on how much energy I have left.
And do you ever get stuck scrolling on your phone for too long?
Oh, absolutely. I'll say 5 minutes and suddenly it's 40. I call it the time travel effect.
Happens to me too, but I try to limit it. After dinner, I like to have a peaceful hour. I call it my quiet hour. I put my phone away so my brain can settle.
I love that. Evening silence feels different from morning silence. It's deeper.
Yes, it's like the world is slowing down with you. And after that, I plan for the next day. Just a small list, nothing huge. It makes tomorrow feel lighter.
I do the same sometimes. It helps reduce stress and it gives you a sense of control.
Exactly. And then my favorite part, my nighttime relaxation ritual.
Okay, now I'm curious. What is the Sam nighttime ritual?
First, tea, warm tea, usually chamomile or mint. Then I turn on dim lights. Then I lie on the couch and reflect on the day. Not in a deep emotional way, more like, good job, Sam. You survived another day.
Honest and relatable.
And after that, I shower, change into pajamas, and maybe read a few pages of a book. Not too many. If I read too much, I stay up too late.
What kind of books?
Light books. Funny ones. Books that don't require too much thinking. My brain is tired by that time.
I get that. My nighttime routine is similar. I love warm showers in the evening. They feel like washing the day away.
Yes, that's the perfect description. Washing the day away.
After that, I usually do a tiny bit of stretching. Nothing serious, just something to relax the muscles.
You're so healthy. Meanwhile, I'm over here drinking tea and thinking about cookies.
I think both options are valid.
True. And when it's finally bedtime, I like to keep my room dim, cool, comfortable. I need the perfect sleeping temperature.
Same. If it's too hot, I can't sleep. If it's too cold, I can't sleep. The conditions must be ideal.
We sound like very dramatic plants.
Yes, delicate plants that need perfect environments.
Before I fall asleep, I usually remind myself to relax my brain. I tell myself, the day is over, nothing left to do, rest.
I do something similar, and I think it's a helpful technique for listeners, too. A little nighttime affirmation.
And then, sleep arrives. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
But you know, Haley, daily routines aren't just about tasks. They're about feelings, too. Comfort, motivation, calmness, the little things that make life feel balanced.
So true. And I think routines help us feel grounded. When life gets stressful, simple habits can keep us stable.
And now that we've covered mornings, afternoons, and evenings, there's still one last part left.
Right, the wrap up. The part where we talk about the meaning behind our routines and how listeners can build their own.
Exactly. And I think that's an important conversation because so many people struggle with creating routines that work for them.
Then let's dive into that together. Right, let's dive into that together. Because honestly, routines can feel overwhelming when you try to make them perfect. But routines don't need to be perfect. They just need to work for you.
Exactly. I think the biggest mistake people make is copying someone else's routine and expecting it to magically fit their life. Like if I try to follow a CEO's morning routine, waking up at 4 a.m., run 10 miles, meditate for an hour, I will simply collapse.
Same. My body would just say, nope, try again tomorrow.
So the important thing is figuring out what actually works for your lifestyle. Maybe you wake up later. Maybe your mornings are busy. Maybe your evenings are peaceful. Build around your rhythms, not someone else's.
And routines should feel supportive, not stressful. If your routine makes you feel pressured or guilty, then something needs to change.
Completely agree. And sometimes the best routines are tiny habits, like drinking water when you wake up, or stretching for 1 minute, or even just opening your window to get fresh air.
Yes, people underestimate small habits, but they're powerful because they're easy to repeat. A small habit done every day becomes a big change over time.
Like brushing your teeth. We do it automatically because we built the habit long ago.
Imagine if we could make other helpful things feel that natural too.
And for people listening who want to build better routines, here's something simple. Choose one small habit to start with. Just one. Don't try to change your entire life in a week.
If you try that, your brain would protest. Loudly.
Very loudly.
One habit at a time is enough, like making your bed, drinking water, walking a little, or writing down tomorrow's plan, something gentle.
And celebrate small wins. If you do your new habit 3 days in a row, that's amazing. Be proud of that.
Yes, being kind to yourself is a huge part of staying consistent. Nobody is perfect. Everybody has days where routines fall apart.
Exactly. Some mornings I wake up late, skip breakfast, run around like a confused chicken, and that's okay. You can always start again the next day.
A confused chicken is still trying its best.
We are all confused chickens sometimes.
Another thing that helps? Making routines enjoyable. Add music, add comfort, add rewards. Make it something you want to do, not something you have to do.
Right, like lighting a candle while working, or making your breakfast look nice, or turning chores into a mini dance party.
My favorite strategy.
And nighttime routines especially should feel comforting. They help signal your brain that it's time to slow down.
I think nighttime habits are the secret to better mornings. If you sleep well, everything becomes easier.
Absolutely. A good day starts the night before.
And for listeners, don't forget that rest is also part of a routine. People always focus on productivity, but rest is important too.
Very important. You can't pour from an empty cup.
You can try, but all you'll pour out is stress.
So true. And speaking of rest, I want to mention something. You don't need a super exciting life to have a meaningful routine. Your routine is yours. Your rhythm is yours, and that's beautiful.
Yes, even simple days can be meaningful. A good cup of tea, a warm shower, a clean room, those moments matter.
And routines remind us that we're in control of small things, even when life feels big and unpredictable.
Well said. And actually, that makes me feel better about my own routine. Sometimes I think it's too simple, but maybe simple is good.
Simple can be amazing.
You know, talking about daily routines like this makes everything feel lighter. Like it reminds me that I don't have to be perfect. I just have to keep going.
And do small things that help you feel balanced. Even tiny steps count.
That's the heart of it. Small steps every day. That's how we create the life we want.
Agreed. And hopefully our listeners feel a little inspired to build routines that support them in their own lives, even if it's just one tiny change.
One tiny change can start something big.
Before we wrap up, Sam, I want to ask one final question. If you could add one new habit to your routine tomorrow, what would it be?
I think I'd like to stretch every morning. I always feel better when I stretch, but I never remember to do it.
That's a great one. Maybe I should join you. We can be long, flexible people together.
Like noodles.
Yes, stretchy human noodles.
What about you? What habit would you add?
I'd like to go on short evening walks. Nothing long, just 10 or 15 minutes to clear my mind.
That sounds peaceful. And I think both of our new habits are realistic, not extreme, just gentle improvements.
Exactly the kind of habits people can actually keep.
And I hope our listeners choose something small for themselves too, something they enjoy, something they can repeat.
And remember, everyone, take it slow. You don't need to change everything at once, just one step at a time.
One step, one habit, one day.
And with that, I think it's time to bring today's episode to a close. Sam, this was such a fun conversation.
Always. Talking with you makes everything feel lighter.
And to our listeners, thank you so much for spending time with us today. We hope you enjoyed this episode and learned something useful for your daily routine.
And if you did enjoy it, don't forget to follow the podcast, subscribe to our channel, and support us. It helps us keep making episodes for you.
Yes, your support means everything. And of course, come back for more episodes of English is My Life, where we chat, laugh, and help you practice English in the most natural way.
Until next time, take care, stay consistent, and be kind to yourself.
Bye, everyone, and see you in the next episode.